All right, I'm doing it, guys. My first ever Power Ranger review on my channel, technically. I've done collaborations, but never one on series. So we're going to do one on Dino Fury. So let's get started. Hi, guys. My name is Maria Park, and this is Approach to Nerd. And in this episode, we are talking and reviewing the series Dino Fury, episode 2. So I did do an episode 1 review on the premiere of Dino Fury, and for some reason I did a collaboration with Joe's Geek Show, and the video is just messed up. I don't know what it is. It didn't render correctly, and it's a headache. So I'm going to try and figure that out. But for now, I'm just going to stick with reviewing episode 2 and take it from that point on with whether or not I'm going to continue to review the series. I might. I am, if you know me and you've been following my channel, you know I am a huge Sentai fan. I love Takasatsu. I love Kamen Rider. I love Garo. I'm huge into these genres. I have been watching Power Rangers since MMPR premiered. So I love it. I think I've seen every Sentai, starting with Go Ranger up until the first half of Mashin Sentai Kiramager. So I love Sentai. I love that this is adapted from Rule Soldier because I really, really, really enjoyed that series, even though I thought their henshin was a little silly. I mean, I did, but very pretty CGI, but very, very silly. And I like that they're trying to keep some of the elements of Rule Soldier in this. I still to this date think it was a missed opportunity. Probably a lot of other people do too. In calling the series Dino Fury, especially if you have a alien race of people that were actually knights on another planet. um, I kind of felt like the story would have really benefited from having these knights that lost their powers have be able to pass them on to someone on another planet, and then having those people have to train to be knights, and like the whole knighthood story would have been really, really cool in this. I really could have seen that playing out. And it gives you a lot of backstory into Zato's world, and kind of just overall how the knights were, because they were knights before they were rangers. So they had a knighthood already before they even became rangers, before the Morphin Masters even took the spirits of these dinosaurs, which I don't know if they ever asked the dinosaurs if that was okay. They just kind of were there and they just kind of took their spirits. So a little bit of animal cruelty there. But, the Knights of Ravkan were essentially transformed into Rangers, but they were initially knights. And I would have loved to have that storyline. I thought that would have been really, really cool. I could have fleshed that out, them, having like Amelia and Ollie and all of the other, future, you know, Fury Rangers going on these quests and learning to be a knight, learning about knighthoodnum and all that. I think that'd be kind of cool. But it is what it is. I've always said that there's a lot of missed opportunities in the adaptations of series, so it is what it is. But speaking of Rural Soldier, so the Blue Ranger, Russo Blue, who is Maito, reminds me a lot of Ollie. So I think that that's a very close comparison. Now, Amelia is kind of a hybrid between the Pink Ranger and Rural Soldier, who is Asuna, and the girl. There's a girl YouTuber. Her name is Ue Tatsui, and she it's pretty much how Amelia is. How she's going around ghost chasing, ghost trying to find ghosts and trying to record everything and into paranormal everything. And she brings the real soldiers home to live with her and her dad. So I think they kind of took Asuna and Ue and they merged them together, and that is who Amelia is in Dino Fury. That is my opinion, but that's what I got out of that. Um, I will say though, I really like Amelia's character, and I must do a RIP from the heart to the actress Mana, and I always forget her last name, who plays Ue Tatsui in Rural Soldier, because she did pass away in December of 2020 of an undisclosed disease. So hearts out to her. But I love how if you really go and watch the show, if you're able to watch Rural Soldier and you watch how she acts and then watch Amelia, it is very close in comparison. It just has it's like a little bit more controlled, like Asuna. So that's why I say it's an Asuna versus Ue, because Ue can kind of go off the rails a little bit. So, but definitely Amelia has that capability too. So I think she's definitely a hybrid between them. I don't talk a lot about the villains. I probably did in the first episode, but I'm cool with Voidmaster. I'm cool with Mucus, even though I don't like the name. It's disgusting. In comparison to Rule Soldier, Cleon is definitely the same character as Mucus. They're both bratty. They both, are childish, like in terms of not wanting to do anything. They're like extremely lazy. So definitely close. I think if I'm looking to apples, I think Mucus is probably the closest to the Rule Soldier series of any character we've seen so far. So pretty good with that. So I like Zato. His retractable antennas are interesting. I don't really know what they're for. I don't know if they give him some kind of clairvoyance or they signal thing. I don't know what they do. But as for his antennas being able to retract, that is very, very interesting. So character-wise, I think that's cool. He doesn't really remind me of anyone in Rule Soldier. He's kind of his own thing. And I think they probably did that intentionally because he is the alien of the group. So I'm okay with that. So those are the ones we have so far that are already announced. We know we're getting the Green and Black Rangers, and we know they have the same last name as Warden Garcia. So more than likely they're his children. So that's interesting. And we also know the Green Ranger is going to be played by a girl when traditionally in Rule Soldier, it is a boy. So I'm interested to see how that plays out. Completely okay with that. It's not like they haven't done it before. So let's talk about some things that I really liked about this episode. Number one, I love that they had to practice their morphing, well, kind of like the call to their morphing sequence. I think that was really cool. They didn't just do it, because most time when you watch Power Rangers, they just automatically know how to do all this stuff. They had to practice and they weren't getting it right. And it took multiple times. And I love that they showed the frustration of that. I love that they introduced teleportation and that they had to adapt to it. Like Ollie was getting like motion sickness from this repeatedly through this episode. So I did love that. I loved the morph. That morph gave me an adrenaline rush. It's like watching Time Ranger, but like the Sentai Time Ranger Henshin mixed with Tron. I'm like, it's like they're in Tron, but they have Time Ranger in Tron. So that's what it would look like if you threw the Time Rangers into Tron's universe. Effing loved it. I think this is one of the best Power Ranger morph sequences I have ever seen in any of the series, and I've seen a lot of good ones. So loved it. I didn't like the opening theme song. I'm so sorry, guys. I hate auto-tune. I hate it. So it just bothers me. I don't like it. I like the background music, but I don't like the opening song. So when they're morphing, that's fine. I just don't like the opening theme. If it has lyrics, I don't like it with auto-tune. I just figure if you have to auto-tune it, there's no point in doing it at all. I may be in the minority in that, but guys, I am not feeling that song. I'm sorry. I'm just not. Okay. So I had some questions. I know they already established that there were 6 keys total and they were lost with the original Rangers, which we know obviously isn't going to be a thing because we're going to get more Rangers, which is fine. But so my first thing is, so Ollie gets this idea and he wants to take the scanner that the Voidmaster left at their base / underground ship or whatever we're calling it, and kind of combine it with his mother's drone technology. And they're going to use it to just go up in the air, fly around the town and try and, I guess, find where all the Sporex beasts are, or where the Sporex are. And Sporex, to me, I said this in episode 1 review, they're like gross little globs of snot with eyeballs in them. They're freaking gross. If they were trying to make me grossed out, they succeeded in this series. But I thought it was a good idea. Now, I get that they had to have some drama. So they had to have his mother be in danger because, she had the scanner. Ollie gave her the scanner to go and find these, to basically do the merging of the technology to try and find the Sporex. So I don't know why he didn't realize his mother was not going to be, or was going to be in danger. Why Ollie didn't realize that they could have tracked it, considering they deal with a lot of technology. And then number two, um, and this just may be me, because this happens in a lot of Power Rangers. I always feel like the parents don't care about their children. And the reason I'm saying that is Ollie goes to talk to the mother to try and talk to her about doing the experiment. Then he gets a text message from Amelia, and he's like, "Oh, mom, Amelia says they located a Sporex beast. I'm gonna have to go help them catch it." And she's like, the mother's like, "Okay." I'm like, you just got this whole disclaimer that these things might be dangerous, but you're like, "Okay, son, just go on." So I'm like, that was interesting to me. That was really interesting to me. I do like the fact that the power-ups were left in. Now they do use Sentai footage. So a lot of the Sentai footage with the Power Ranger the power-ups like when they actually are fighting. Like for instance, when we see Zato use it with the stink power-up, which is funny. I swear they use that in every Dino theme show. Like they did it in Kyoto Ranger, or I guess Dino Charge, in the episode where the pillow was making them go to sleep and be trapped in dreams. And Tyler used it to wake Shelby up to get her out of the pillow dream world, the stink bomb or whatever. So they love playing on that. I don't know why. I've even seen it in Zoo Ranger. I don't know why they love playing with stinking farting type attacks, but whatever. But when you see Amelia and Ollie using the power-ups like to fight a Megazord, that is absolute Rio Soldier footage. But I love how they adapted it. So I was cool with that. I wish they had come up with a voiceover for when they use the power-ups, because I just see them doing that. And it's like, I loved the voiceover in Real Soldier, but if you've never seen it, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about. So it's fine. But so this goes back to my question again. So back to Zato's past. So when he gets into his Megazord, which I'm trying to remember what they called it. The Rex Champion Zord, I believe it is. He says, "It's been a long time, my friend." So then I start to question how long they were actually Rangers, because they had to have been Rangers a long time to have. If he had this Megazord and he used this Megazord a lot, then this tells me that they had to have been fighting a long time, especially to be able to capture all of the Sporex. So I really hope that we get a lot of exposition on, his planet Rafcon and his team, his former team of Knights, because that is definitely a missed opportunity if we don't see that. So again, that's another reason why I wish they had kept with the Knights theme. It would have been very cool. But yeah, so we got to see the Rex Champion Zord. It's cool. It's all Sentai footage. So, I mean, I'm not trying to be a downer, but I've seen it. So I'm like, it's very nice. And it's a cool adaptation. But again, it's not original. So maybe we will get some original fight scenes. I don't know. I don't know. Like, Amelia, though. Let's go to Amelia. Whenever Amelia talks about Buzz Blast, I swear I think she's saying BuzzFeed. And I know this is probably a ripoff or a parody of BuzzFeed. I mean, even the inside of Buzz Blast reminds me of videos I've seen of the inside of BuzzFeed. But I always think she's off to go make a video like Ladylike, but actually instead of saying Ladylike, it's something like Ranger-like. I think, and I mean, honestly, I could see that being a thing. My next nitpick of this has to do with that. So I don't understand. So, okay. They wanted to go and warn the town, basically about everything that's going on. Specifically, there are Sporex, I'm calling them eggs. They're just globs of snot with eyeballs all around the town. And so they're like, go in there, and Zato's like, remember, you can't tell anyone you're Rangers, which I don't understand why. But, whatever. I don't understand why Ollie can't tell his mom. But it is what it is. But so they go to talk to Warden Garcia so they can warn everybody in town. And, he kind of looks at them like they're crazy when they start talking about Sporex beasts or eggs or whatever, or like these alien, beasts that gonna hatch and take over, the town and blah, blah, blah. Why did they think he was going to listen to them when Amelia, who's trespassed a million times, and Ollie and his mother, whose mother's even there, being told why she can't go back to Dino Henge? Why did any of them think it was a good idea to just go as their civilian selves to this man and he was going to believe them. They should have gone as Rangers to begin with because that would have saved so much time. And then just to have them have to do that at the end anyway, like you see Zato, who for some reason, even though he's 67 million years old, he's able to get in front of a camera and give this message out, even though technically it probably would have made more sense for that to be Amelia since she's the reporter. To get that message out. But the guy who isn't even from Earth is very comfortable making a video at Buzz Blast. But he gets the message out through the video. I'm like, why didn't they just do that from the jump? Like, why not? I don't get that. I don't get that at all. But, it is what it is. But other than that, I mean, it was a pretty good episode. I really enjoyed it. Again, I like Mucus. Mucus is definitely the closest character to Rule Soldier. So I think their version of Cleon is going to be very problematic for them. And I can't wait, especially if they keep some of the plots that I remember seeing in the series. We're going to be in for some very cool episodes. Again, I love their morph. It is one of the best ones I've seen in Power Rangers. I just need them to change the opening song. I love they brought back teleporting. I love that they're just learning. They actually show them learning to be Rangers. It's just not coming easily to them. I do love that. Also with Void Master, so him taking over, you see him go to this base. They name it Area 62. And we learned that the Sporex, whenever you defeat a Sporex in battle with your Megazord, that they become stronger. So really what this told me in this episode, and I may be crazy, is that the Void Master, he doesn't have to wait for the Rangers to be defeated in battle or for the Zords to beat them. He just needs them to defeat these Sporex to power them up and then take them like he did at the end of this episode to power up whatever machine he's trying to power up at Area 62. So whatever his master plan is, he can really just sit back and not worry about it. I mean, yeah, if he sends the monster or Sporex of the week to defeat him and it works, that's great. If not, and they end up having a Megazord battle and they defeat it, as long as he gets it after it's defeated, he still essentially is winning. And that is an interesting concept because I'm so used to Power Rangers. When they get the Megazord and they destroy you, you're normally destroyed and that's the end of you. So, that is interesting. So this is something new that they're doing and I kind of like it. So I want to see where that goes. But yeah, everything else was cool. Only other element is what I said earlier about the fact that Ollie's mother doesn't seem too concerned that her son is running around catching these Sporex beasts she doesn't know he's a Ranger, so essentially no powers, and they're supposed to be dangerous. And she's just like, okay, cool. And then she also had that really cool moment where she used one of her cables to lasso Mucus, which told me she should have been on the team. But yeah, other than that, pretty good. I was going to talk about Jay Borg, but I don't really want to because that's just silly. So unless I'm sure Jay Borg is going to be a repetitive character, but it's just the whole Bulk and Skull type formula. I pretty much think Jay Borg is the new Bulk and Skull. So there's that. But yeah, other than that, guys, I really enjoyed this episode. So I will be checking out episode 3. I'll probably review it too, but let me know what you think. So leave me a comment below and let me know. And if you would like to sign up for jury duty, hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to know who's next on Nerd Bell, hit the notification bell. Until next time, I can't wait for you to approach the nerd. Bye, guys.
Thank you for watching my video. I really appreciate it, but hey, the party doesn't have to stop now. Click on one of these videos and keep it going.